First of all, one of the basic tenets of management is to measure what's happening. If you can't measure what's happening, you can't manage the situation. If I was to open up a sweet shop in Main Street in Bray, I would need to know what's happening within that sweet shop, otherwise it would go bust. Okay? So the fact that over the last number of years, despite myself and maybe others trying to get the Minister to focus on measuring what's happening, there has been a refusal. Up until 2 weeks ago, the last question I got from the department is, we are not able to extract that information from the data. Now that is a flashing neon light saying incompetency. It's what it is, Minister. And you mentioned about the deportations. Over 7,000 applications that have been refused in the last year. Only fewer than 100 of those have seen a deportation. And we saw last week under the Dublin III regulations that just out of 3 out of 188 decisions were transferred. So the question I have here, we have a piece of legislation that's never actually been used before. We have changed we're going to amend the legislation, and yet the British are still refusing to accept that they're going to accept returns. I'm asking you, how do you enforce that? Simply, how do you enforce it? Because otherwise, that piece of emergency legislation is a distraction from fixing the situation.